So, in today video update is about lubrication pump. So I discovered that I cannot use it, and I managed to discover that after I spent a lot of time playing with spindle at speed problem. So I ran a lot of G code, and I wanted in some point to see how many impulses is counted. So when I open oil pump file, here I have how many impulses is counted. Every 5 millimeters of travel is 1 impulses. So currently is 414, and so I close this and I am in manual mode. So this is quit mode, manual mode, and when this is different color, when my tool changer is moving, I have information that something is counted. And now I can open. So 414, nothing did not change, and the reason is reset need to be in blinking mode, and after I turn it off it will start to count. So and it's possible to see that even if you hear sound of moving tool changer, there is not a lot of impulses, so that is also strange. So now I will open this. 467. Okay. So now I close this. So when I'm in manual mode, and there is in manual mode I do not run G code, I can count impulses. So when this is moving in z-axis left and right, this sensor detects impulses, and after 4000 impulses oil pump should be turned on for 20 seconds. So let's see one more time. Start macros, oil pump. So 467, and 467, and I will write this information on paper. So 467. Okay. Now and this is it's better like this. This is macro script, and inside it's code that takes care how many impulses is counted and what to do after 4000 impulses is counted. And my idea was that this script, when it's triggered, when we enter inside, it will go in while loop and condition is always true, and macro will run indefinitely. And I discovered before few days that something is not good, and I want to show what is not good. So what is not good? So now when I change quit mode, auto load, so cycle. So now I am in auto mode, and I will try to move. So tool changer, I'm moving it. I'm in auto mode, and I will open one more time this file. 467. So that means that this did not count. Manual. So we can look this part. So this is not reliable counting in my opinion. Again, I will open 467. I should have more than 467, but I do not have. And I concluded that, so when I go in auto, when I go in this mode, I think that Mach3 is being prepared in that way that all macros that are running are stopped, and because of that my macro M55, in which is code for counting impulses and for control of lubrication, stopped with work. So when I go back in manual mode and I press reset, so when I try to move again, and I open my file, so now I have 477, and I had 467. So 477. So this is new number of pulses, 477. 477, and to continue with my test, so I will press again to come in auto mode. Cycle start. Soft limit warning, continue, yes. Stop. Cycle start. So G code is running and machine works. Machine works, and after the code is done, I wanted to see how many impulses will be counted. So when machine is machining, it moves a lot left and right. It moves a lot. And that's it, and it not came all the way because of conditions. So when I rotate this, it will move. So now I want to see how many pulses is counted. So oil pump, and we have 477, and we had 477, and that means that in auto mode I cannot count pulses. And I thought maybe problem is because I made my brain that triggers my macro like this. So I made it like this. When E stop, this is invert. So when E stop is not pressed, trigger input OM special input OM trigger number 1, and when it's triggered, it will where is my it will trigger my macro. So when E stop is not pressed, usually I had at the beginning I had problem that every time I pressed reset, execution of my macro for counting pulses was stopped. So I need some way to engage my macro for counting pulses. So I came to this idea, and I managed to implement to work, but like I explained, when it comes to auto mode, Mach3 prepares itself and stops all macros that are executing in background. So I came to idea to try what will happen when spindle index signal, and that is I'm using for counting that signal. So when this counting diagnostic. So this, where is index? Here is index. Here is index. So I'm using index signal for counting. So my idea was to try what will happen. So when I'm in auto mode, Mach prepares itself and it stops my macro, and I cannot press again, it stops. So I had idea what will happen if I use this spindle index. And now it's in focus. So this is with manual focus. Spindle index, add, no operation, okay, terminate with input. What will happen? Okay, so I have OM trigger number 1 to be triggered with two different ways. One way is when e-stop is not active anymore, and one is when spindle index input is active. So I press save, and now I need to reload brain. Oil pump, reload brain. Okay, to see what will happen. So quit auto, cycle start. So when I press cycle start, like we saw before few minutes, machine started to work, to cut material, to cut air. And now what will happen? Soft limit warning, yes, and that's it. Index signal was triggered and machine stopped, and when I start debugging, I am in a loop. So while I cannot escape my macro, and I'm stuck on first line. And as we can see, the time is running, but I cannot continue with execution of G code while I'm in this macro. So conclusion is when you run G code, you cannot have some macro that runs parallel somewhere in behind of Mach3. So you need to need to finish with your macro. When macro is finished, you come back in your G code and you continue with executions of line in G code. So for example, when I come here, M04, this is like I open file open. This is like I open M4 macro. So this is like I open this, and after all this is executed. So if this condition is true, then do this. If it's not true, then it must be this condition. So wait while this condition is true. When it's not true anymore, you can go out and you return back in. You return back in where you stopped in G code, and you continue with executing. So this is how it works. And what that means for me, it means that I will need to buy PLC that have fast inputs. So fast inputs. The one that I had was too slow, so I decided to make it over Mach3, but now I learned that it's not possible to make. So so I will stop this, and now I will brain editor, enter name, cancel, file, open, oil pump. Oil pump. So what will do? Minus save brain control, reload brain. Okay. And now when I restart, so stop, cycle start. Everything works. Everything works except my oil pump does not work. So I can press stop. So this is something that would work. This is something that would work. Operator. This is something that would work in case that Mach supports parallel execution of G code and macros, but it does not work like that. So every day I learn something new. So like I said, conclusion is that I will need to buy PLC with fast inputs that will take care about oil pump if I want to monitor that after every 20 meters of travel activates pumping for time of 20 seconds. So this is for now.